Hello and welcome to In Business Talks 2. We're thrilled to welcome you to our bonus episode, The Friday Fix. In our bonus episode, we will be discussing a business-related subject with either one of our wonderful In Business Networking members or a fellow business owner who will be sharing their advice, thoughts or knowledge on a particular topic.
We're your hosts, Tracy and Ian Earle, founders of In Business, a networking and business support community. We host online and face-to-face events and we'd love to meet you, so why not come along? The link to book is in the show notes. Our guest this week is Alan Pilkington, the digital facilitator. If you're looking for pre-vetted digital services and experts, then Alan can help you by unlocking a host of high-quality digital service providers that match your needs and budget. Without further ado, let's crack on with our Friday Fix. Welcome to our Friday Fix. Today we have Alan Pilkington with us, and Alan's company is called the Digital Facilitators. Welcome, Alan. It's lovely to see you.
Welcome, Alan.
Hi Tracy. Hi Ian. Thanks for having me this morning. Appreciate it.
That's okay.
Good to have you with us.
No problem.
I suppose before we start, we should ask you basically, Alan, can you tell us a little bit about what you do and how you help people?
Yeah, of course. The Digital Facilitators was actually born out of a necessity, in my opinion. There are so many businesses out there that get burned by digital agencies. They don't have the time to go through the thousands of agencies out there to find the right support. So essentially, businesses would come to myself and the team. We'll do a full scope for them in regards to their digital needs for their journey. And then I'll place them with someone inside my partner network. And if it's a case where it's a good match, then obviously happy days. But the best bit about it is that my time is completely free to all businesses out there. I don't charge a single penny. The agencies that want to be part of my partner program, I don't charge them for any leads. It's only a case if the agency lands that particular acquisition with the client that put in front of them. So it's win-win for all parties involved.
All right, sounds good. So how long have you been doing this, Alan?
Today is our 2-week anniversary.
Oh, yeah.
So the business is not supposed to be live till June, but a few friends of mine basically told me I should be doing it now because of the market at the moment. Yeah. There's a lot of businesses that are bringing things in-house or putting things on pause. The digital economy is struggling the last kind of like 6 months or so. So it's perfect timing for someone like myself and the team to jump in and help people remedy the situation, especially with the new financial year starting on April 6th.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Good time to start.
Yeah.
It makes it easy for your bookkeeping as well.
Exactly.
Win-win.
Well, I've been in digital marketing for 15 years, so I do have the experience, knowledge and skill set and, as I said, the connections with the agency world. But I just thought it was a great opportunity to bring something fresh to the market.
Like it.
Okay, then I suppose we should start with, so what are the essentials then what sort of the essential components of a strong digital presence for a business, especially if they're just starting up?
It really does depend. If you're an e-commerce store, you're obviously trying to sell some products, for example, say men's clothing, right? So you want your website visible on a 24/7 basis. So you need yourself a website. You need yourself some SEO to help you be found organically on Google and other channels. Then you probably want some kind of social media spend behind you, email marketing campaigns. But you really, first, before you do the email marketing side of things, you really need to gauge an audience, find it, make sure there's a market for something there is a market for what you're selling, essentially. Otherwise, you can blast through a lot of money very quickly going into the unknown. So it's great to have a structure, great to have a plan. And any startup out there that's listening to this that wants to have an informal conversation in regards to what kind of structure I would advise on, and then they can take those, incremental steps while building out the business.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, good.
Yeah. So in your experience, what sort of platforms and channels have been the most effective for people so they reach engagement and their target audience?
You hit the nail on the head saying target audience. So it really depends on your business and your demographics. I'll stick with e-commerce for now. So Shopify has blown through the traps, especially during the course of the pandemic. I think they estimated there was 185,000 new Shopify stores built in the UK in something like a 2.5-year period. Quite crazy. People losing their jobs, want to do drop shipping or want to create their own business. It's great. And it's great to see loads of entrepreneurs of all different ages, anywhere from 18-year-olds up to people start their first business at 60 in some cases. So But yeah, I think the platforms of choice vary. So if you're looking on an e-commerce standpoint, you got your Shopify's, you got your Magento 2s. If you're a bit more like a bit more intricate, but then you have to look at other channels like your Meta, your Google's for promoting the business, for promoting the products and services. But there's so much choice out there at the moment. We could be here for quite a long time rattling off the list.
Yeah. Is there one that sort of stands out above the rest, or are they all pretty much of a muchness? Are they all more or less the same?
Again, it's really difficult to pinpoint one, if I'm completely honest. But look, Instagram has been massive from the influencer side of things. So again, if you're sticking to men's clothing, the influencer market is massive, and Instagram is probably the main channel for that. TikTok has also exploded. I was at an event yesterday, and they are estimating that in the next kind of like 2012 to kind of like 18 months, they think that TikTok will deliver 6 billion in revenue. Sorry, not 6 billion, 600 billion. Sorry, 600 billion. You might want to edit that part out, but yeah, TikTok is due to do about 600 billion in the next 12 to 18 months in revenue across the board, which is massive. It's heavily weighted towards the kind of like Asian market, but it's still hitting the UK quite rapidly as well.
Yeah, I read somewhere about TikTok where are the Americans trying to ban it or something, or have I made that up? Or is that something that's
no? I don't know.
I thought the Americans were trying to.
There's always people trying to do things, ban things left, right, and centre. If anything, we're not going to go off topic, but if anything, they should be banning AI, in my opinion, because I think once AI starts getting to grip of things and getting its hands on more information, I think it's a very, very slippery slope that we're going down in that world.
Yeah, it's quite scary, really, isn't it?
Yeah. So, what role would you say social media plays in a digital marketing strategy or a digital presence?
It can be everything. It can make or break a business, if I'm honest. So if someone's had a fantastic time with your product and service, it can shine a light on you. But if for any reasons that you're having logistical problems, maybe your packages aren't going out in time, you're saying next day delivery, next thing you know, you got 5,000 bad reviews on your site, you're not going to be trusted. Trust is everything in this market. Like literally, you could be at top of the world one day and the next day your business is destroyed. So you've got to be very, very careful with your offering.
Yeah, I suppose you have really, because it only takes one or two bad reviews, doesn't it? And then word gets out there, then you're stuffed, aren't you? Really? And people believe some things that aren't true as well. How do you counteract that if people blatantly lie to competitors like stuff you over?
Exactly. I love that sign that was it was online a while ago that someone that was a coffee shop, slightly off topic. They got their whiteboard out, got the chalkboard out, sorry, and they wrote out, "Oh, does anyone want to come in and try, according to one woman's review, the worst coffee in the area?" or something along those lines. So just because you can't please everyone, you have to remember that. You got to take the good with the bad. There's no way you're going to please every single person for every single mindset across every single demographic. There's no product or service out there that will ever do that.
No, I suppose not. No.
And it's difficult to get rid of the bad reviews, isn't it? You know, on Google, you can't just go in and delete them, can you? It doesn't happen like that. You've got to get more good reviews to kind of push it down there.
Yeah, of course. But remember that, like, there's some winners and there's some losers, but there's not actually losing in this scenario. It's learnings. So there's only winnings and learnings. So you learn from your mistakes. You find out, get the feedback from the person, what they liked, what they didn't like. It might be something very simplistic. They just woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and they just chose violence. Simple as that.
Yeah. So is it difficult then to measure your sort of success when you've got a digital presence? How do you measure it, and what sort of KPIs do you use? Does that make sense? How do you measure how good or bad you're doing?
Well, there's loads of different tracking tools out there. So, for example, if you're doing things across Meta and across Google, then you can use GA4 Analytics. There's multiple different dashboards and plugins that you can utilize as well. There's so many different ways of tracking, but the most difficult part is if you have multiple channels, you got multiple logins, and it's very difficult to compile the information. So my advice to any business out there is to find a solution where all the APIs and plugins can go into one single dashboard, so you can pull all the information off the data that you need for when you're speaking to the powers that be, the people that you're reporting into, because the CEOs and the bosses of this world, they only care about the profits. They only care about the the top line figures. They don't care what's happening else in the background.
Yeah. Yeah. I suppose that's the only important thing, isn't it? The profit. As long as you're making a profit, that's the main thing, isn't it? Really. Everything else is secondary, isn't it?
Yeah, well, a lot of people out there really rely on a thing called ROAS, ROAS, return on ad spend. But I think a lot of businesses are missing the finer picture there. It's great to have a ROAS, but you should be focusing on what I'd call a POAS, a profit on ad spend. So factor in all your overheads in regards to your manufacturing, in regards to distribution, in regards to your staff, coffee, even the small things like fuel getting to the office. All of these should be integrated so you actually find out if your business indeed is going to be profitable. Because they do say any business that's launching, if you get to the end of year 2 breaking even, that's a good start.
I like that part. It's good. Yeah, a good way, because I've heard of the ROAS one, but that's good, is that? It does make more sense now you mention it, because profit's everything, isn't it?
It is. It is. There's a company which I won't name for legal purposes, but a few years ago I did a deep dive into their business financially, and they did 132 million turnover, I think it was, but they were 14 million in the red. It's because they were blasting their money through different channels and not really caring about if they win, lose or draw. And that's not a very good model, because next thing you know, your 100, 200 staff that you have inside the business, if you fold, say, just before Christmas, that's not a nice position to be in. So as a business, yes, it's your money, it's your time, but you're also playing with people's lives. So just be a bit more due diligence when you're actually trying to scale up a business and ramp up. It's great to spend loads of money, but unless you're making it back in return, why are you doing it in the first place? Sometimes you just got to stay on a nice straight line. If it's working really nicely on a profitability scale, don't get too greedy too quick.
Right. Mm. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
Sorry.
You okay?
I've got me.
Yeah. Tracy gets a podcast. Every time we do a podcast, she gets a cough. It's unbelievable, really.
It's a nervous thing. It must be.
Get that woman a Lemsip. Should be all right.
Yeah. So how important is it then for businesses to incorporate elements of the personal branding within their sort of digital presence strategy? Is that important or not?
Great question. I think personal branding is a massive thing these days, because if like for me at the Digital Facilitators, I post on LinkedIn probably 5-6 times a week. And then a lot of people tend to say, "Oh, I've seen your post," or like it, or they've met me in the future at a future event, saying, "Oh, nice to finally meet you. I've been following you for a while," kind of scenario. So I think personal branding is great, and I think a lot more bosses should actually have a personal brand. I think it shows more trust in the business as well, because if you're buying into a business, a product or service, and you haven't got a clue who's behind the wheel, then it's a bit more of a sticky slope. Whereas I think personal branding is something that should be, it's definitely grown since the pandemic, or when the pandemic started. I think LinkedIn's grown massively as a channel, but I think personal branding as a whole, I think these days is a must.
So what, in your opinion, then is a good way to help with your personal branding? Have you got some top tips? Obviously, don't give all your secrets away, but have you got any top tips to help in that? What would you suggest for someone looking to, I don't know, get the personal branding out there?
If you're time poor, there is people and companies out there that will run it for you. So how their process tends to work is they'll bring you in for a day, they'll do some filming, take some pictures, get to know more about you, and then they'll just create basically a 20, 30, 40-page story on you, and then they'll drop it out every morning. As a personal brand, I would always say my rule when I started was Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings. I used to post about 8:30 in the morning to try and get the rush of people, jumping online half an hour before the job or whatever the case may be. I think that's important, that you're engaging with the right audiences. So building out your personal brand, don't add everybody to set channels or your communities. Make sure that you're building the communities bespoke to what you do. It's better to have 100 people engaged in regards to the conversation that you're trying to depict, as opposed to 100,000 followers with 2 engagements. Because 100,000 followers means nothing at the end of the day. It's all about engagement.
Right. And is there sort of one medium better than the other for? I mean, you hear a lot of people about, say, things, put videos out there of yourself and things like that. Is there one that's standout one, or are they all pretty much the same?
No, they're not all the same at all. Like it really depends on what way you want to develop it. Like if you look at like someone like Stephen Bartlett, like he has the Diary of a CEO, his own podcast, he has his own brand, the way his messaging kind of comes across. there is a lot of power in that, but he has a lot of kind of core followers in regards to he's the Messiah, we must do what he says kind of scenario.
Yeah.
Whereas you'd have someone else that's just starting out, they're 21 years old, finished university, they just launched their own social media company, and they're just trying to be very, very careful of the kind of people that they're attracting. I've seen a lot of people winning jobs as well from their personal branding, because the personal branding element's great. So other companies might hire them internally to run their social media, for example, across the board. So personal branding can open up a lot of doors.
Right. Can you tell us a little bit more about your business and why you started it? I think you've got a good story behind that. You've got a passion for you've seen people fall foul of big agencies, haven't you?
Yeah, sure. Look, during the course of my career, I worked for Google 6.5 years. I was at a SaaS AI tech for Google Shopping. I was the first hire and helped scale them up globally for 4 years. Then I moved into financial technology and I went to agency side for a year. So I feel like I'm quite averse to the industry at this point. But there's one common theme that I used to always hear, that I'm sick of being burnt by an agency. So there's loads of amazing agencies out there that do various things, but the difference is that an agency might bring you on board, okay? And the first couple of months, you treat like royalty, you have the best experience, but then the next thing you know, that they've grown as an agency, taken on more clients, and you don't have the same care that you had a few months ago. So therefore, your performance dips, okay? An agency that does like 15, 20 different services, it tends to be that they're fantastic at a couple, but not necessarily fantastic across the board. Again, because there's so many services, you don't want to be a jack of all trades and master at none.
Yeah.
This is why lots of money have been burnt. Like I've literally spoken to companies who've been burnt 4, 5, 6 times in a row, and they know that agencies are necessary to a certain degree, but they're just sick of it. They're really sick of it, and that's why I felt very upset personally on a personal note, and that's why I created the digital facilitators. So I'd like to think that the network of agencies that I'm creating and tech partners will help the people that come to me. If someone comes to me, I'm not going to onboard them if they're not the right fit. If I can't help them, I will be honest and saying, sorry, I cannot help you, and here's the reasons why. But if I can help and I can support, my time, like I said, is 100% free. My agency partners get introduced for free. I only actually get paid if the agency wins the contract. But if the agency doesn't win the contract, that's not going to upset me. It just means that I've got my own personal learnings as to why I didn't do a good enough job in positioning that particular client with said agency. So it's a very, very sticky industry, because like I said, there's so much choice out there. There's so many agencies. People don't have the time, they don't have the money to burn, and they don't have the resources. And that's what I want to do. I want to help people save time, help them grow and become more profitable, especially during the course of this, we're only post-pandemic. In my opinion, they dropped the big R, the word recession, back in February, but then the government told us that in January, actually, no, we're okay, we're not in a recession. So that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that, once it hits April, people will get their new budgets, things will be released, but people have to be mindful of how to spend that money and not to waste it. Because I personally believe that if we can grow, make businesses thrive and survive and thrive in this economic downturn, I think that will boost the economy as a whole, because if the businesses are doing well, there's more jobs being created, there's more money being spent, and that's what I want to see. I want to see all businesses that are using digital marketing services to thrive, and if they're currently not happy at the moment, give me a shout, see if I can help.
Yeah. So you basically try and point people in the right direction. You're like a guide, aren't you? Like a guide, really.
Like a facilitator, you would say.
Yeah. Good word.
Maybe you should use that in your business.
Yeah, points people in the right direction. Yeah, no, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, but
a range of different sized agencies on, as your contacts.
Yeah, so I'll deal with anyone from SME all the way up into enterprise. So the services that we're providing, there's actually 50 elements to digital marketing we're going to be working on. I won't list them all. We have SEO, you have PPC, attribution modeling, email marketing, international event support, all the way down to print and merchandising, or, it could be your tech stack that you need some special integrations for a migration that you're doing on a brand new website. The list goes on and on and on, but we're here to cover everything, so you don't have to worry about finding that support and wasting time and money and energy and just causing needless headaches. And that's what the Digital Facilitators is all about, to help businesses grow.
And could it be that your needs, as a business owner coming to you, you might need 2 different agencies to complete what you
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where this kind of comes into it, by having select partners. I will have some agencies that are multifaceted. So how I've dealt with the agencies and my partners, I vetted them. So they'll say, look, Alan, I do these 10 services. I'll be like, great. Tell me what you're proficient at and that you're really class A at, and tell me what you're not so good at. And the reason being is, I don't want to put you forward for something that you're great at, because then if my client or our collective client has a really bad experience, you just destroyed my brand. You've just killed my business. Yeah. So, but also, if someone wants like a multitude of different services, say they want 5 different services, they want PPC, they want SEO, they want, a site migration, email marketing, and say some data analysis done, right? So I don't want to give them 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different agencies to work on the project. It's too sticky, it's too much. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to keep it down to 3. 3 is also the magic number when it comes to agencies, because my USP is that I'll only position 3 people in front of you. I'm not going to get 10, 15, 20 people to tender for the work. I'm picking 3. So that's why I'm going to deep dive into what a business is in regards to the demographics, the spend, the time, the locations, all of these kind of different, different elements to the scope. And then I'll put them in touch with the relevant people. And then hopefully one of the 3 agencies I put their direction will win the business. But there's other elements to the business as well. Actually, that's just phase 1. There's actually 2 other phases in regards to the agency side. So agencies can actually, moving forward, they can use my services, because again, if they have say they do web design, now they don't have to just do web design. They can do the 50 elements of digital marketing, because with my support and my support network, if they got an overarching project, then they can use my services to bring my guys or different teams in to help do the work. And then the third part is that anyone that's qualifying out leads, or they might have lost a big RFP, send them my direction, and I'll reposition those potential deals out elsewhere. Basically, what I'm trying to say is there's no such thing as a dead deal these days, because I'm here to support the full digital economy on a 360 scale.
Yeah. And did the idea come as a blinding flash of inspiration then? How did you sort of come up with the concept of, hang on, I could be a facilitator here and I could point people in all these? I know you mentioned earlier on you were sort of disgruntled with what the agencies were doing, but did a spark suddenly go off, think, actually, I could help here by doing this?
The crazy thing is, good question, Ian. The crazy thing is, over the last couple of years, people come to me for all sorts of things. Alan, I need to hire a new CTO. Do you know anyone? Alan, can you have a look at my case studies? Alan, can you have a look at my branding? Alan, who do you recommend to do this particular piece of work? We want to scale the business from 6 figures to 7 figures. And I always gave my time and information and support for free. And then I actually worked out one day, I could have been earning like a good 6 figures just from the last 2 years. So it's like, okay, so I've got the skill set, I've got the network, I'm quite heavily followed on channels and stuff, and I put myself out there. I said, why not? Why not actually just help people? Because at the end of the day, it's great if I make some money, that's fantastic, but that's not my end game. My end game is to actually be like, fast forward 5 years. Do you remember Alan, the guy who used to help every single business out there survive and thrive when things weren't fit? Do you remember how much free time he gave away? Have you seen how much my business has grown because he found me the right partners? Yeah. These are the things I want to be remembered for. Yeah. In a weird way, I want to be known as the nice guy of digital.
Yeah. That's a yeah. Oh, yeah. Sounds like a good aim, doesn't it? To be the nice guy of digital. Yeah. So, do you have any like tips for sort of individuals then who are looking to establish the sort of personal brand online, or start on all this? Do you have a couple of pointers? Yeah. You mentioned about a strategy. Is there a couple of steps? I know that you quite nicely said that they could contact you, but a couple of cheeky steps to get them started if they don't contact you, what might that be?
Well, from a personal branding perspective, we'll start there. From a personal branding perspective, I would really say build your community build the right people. Don't just add every single person on LinkedIn or social media or whatever, just for the sake of having numbers. Build that strong community. Make sure that your messaging is clear, what it is, what you do and how you do it. What is the problem that you're looking to solve? And then just build from there, and then just get posting. There's no such thing as a bad post. It just depends on your audience. So post away, post every, like some people out there. There's this guy called Max who works at Perfect TED, right? Hopefully you enjoy the plug, Max. He's a young lad. I think he's only like 19 or 20, but he was set a challenge by Stephen Bartlett because he invested into the business when they were on Dragon's Den. And he's posting every single day, and his content is great. It's all about different food businesses, where they originated from. Like if he's out having a burger at McDonald's, he'll do a post about that. If he's at another shop and he picks up a big lump of cheese or whatever, he'll talk about how that cheese where it originated from, or pizza or whatever. Like it's very kind of food related because they're in the food industry with their matcha tea in a can kind of thing. We're Perfect TED. I'm yet to try some. So Max, if you listen to this, send me some. Yeah, like it's just finding your hook. It's how to engage with your audience and providing the right content.
Yeah, that's the tricky part, I think, isn't it? It's nailing that down, I think, sometimes.
We just got to try it. It's trial and error.
Yeah.
If you don't try, you don't know. So I now challenge you, Tracy and Ian, for the entire month of April to post every single day on your channel and see what happens.
We post most days. I mean, we post Monday to Friday every day anyway, don't we?
But is it on the actual, it's on the website or on your personal, as your personal branding or the company?
Oh, that's on
what?
You mean on the on the social channels? We do.
We just LinkedIn. We don't. We're not really big on. Well, I'm not. Are you on Facebook?
No,
we're not really on Facebook.
Instagram.
We're more. You're the Instagram whiz, aren't you? Instagram and LinkedIn we tend to use. I tend to post things only on LinkedIn because I'm useless with Instagram and everything else.
We don't update our website. Is that what you were saying? Update?
No. What, you've got a business page on LinkedIn, and then you got your personal page on LinkedIn.
Oh yeah.
So are you posting just on the business one, or are you posting on the personal page?
I tend to post most on my personal one, actually.
Personal one.
Yeah.
Odd things that we'll put on the business page.
Yeah.
Good. But that's it. It's just trial and error and building your community. I think you're allowed up to 100 connection requests a week, I think they've limited now. But just building out the audience. I would also say if there's particular people that you want to engage with, go follow them, like them, comment on their posts as well. So like, oh, this person's actually quite engaging, and then they'll start following you back and engaging with your bits and pieces. And that's the name of the game in regards to personal brand, is just by getting it out there through other people who have bigger channels than yourself, but engaging with them, because if they like your post and comment on it, other people see that they've liked and commented on it. So therefore that boosts your profile as well.
Yeah. Gets you more visibility, doesn't it? Yeah. It is a bit of a game though, isn't it? Definitely. I agree with the game.
Everything's a game. If you don't gamify your business, then you can't have anything along the way.
Yeah.
No, true. You mentioned that you're on quite a lot of socials. Do you want to tell us how people can get in touch with you?
Yeah, so mainly people can just get me on my LinkedIn. They can also visit www.thedigitalfacilitators.co.uk if you want to reach out, if you want to become an agency partner, or if you're a business that needs support. There is also a Meta page as well, and then we're breaking out the YouTube channel at some point. After this recording's done, actually, you might be the first thing on the YouTube channel. So congratulations. But yes, I'm not on every single channel out there. I'm on Twitter personally as well, but I think from a business perspective and a branding perspective, I still think LinkedIn is the best one, just due to the fact I no longer have the body to go on Instagram. So that's why I'm not on there.
I don't think that's why I go now either. That's not mentioned.
You've got face for radio.
I've got face for radio, yeah.
Face for
Same. That's what I was told.
Yeah.
That's a bit unkind.
Oh, excellent. No, I think we've got some top tips there from Alan. Thank you, Alan.
Yeah, been really interesting talking to you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Alan.
And we might bump into you because you only live up the road.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah.
See you.
I'll see you later on at the local Asda.
Yeah. Lovely. Yeah.
Thanks very much. Really appreciate you taking the time, giving some good information there.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you very much, Alan.
Thank you, Alan.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We're almost at the end of this week's show, and just as a reminder before we go, don't forget to book your place at one of our online networking events where you can meet some great business owners and build those business relationships. If you're in the Leeds, Harrogate, York or Wakefield areas, then why not come along to one of our face-to-face events and meet us. And remember, the best business comes from the best relationships, and the link is in the show notes. Do you wish you could network with more confidence? We understand the challenges you face, whether you're new to networking or simply looking to improve your skills. Our networking know-how course will take you through the process and provide you with the practical tips and techniques to help you make more meaningful connections.
We'd also like to mention our books, which are available on Amazon. The first one is How to Improve Your Business Networking Skills, 52 tips to help you with your networking. Our Notably Networking one-to-one notebook is a place to keep all those notes from those follow-up one-to-ones. And last but not least, our 90 Days to Your Success journal, where you can plan, set and plot those actions that you will take to achieve your goals. Thank you so much for joining us this week on In Business Talks 2 Friday Fix. We hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, all that we ask is that you simply tell a friend about the show, and please follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. We'd really appreciate it.
So, until next time, this is Ian and Tracy, and together we are in business.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.